sounds better, John or me?
Bearing in mind we've got two complete different voices and two different cadences.
I want to know. Honest opinions.
Oh, I think I sound best.
Okay.
It's that real life ambience, isn't it?
But you just can't beat it.
And you know what's really cool is Matt can stick his fingers in his ears and still hear himself when he talks.
What I might start doing is I might start recording with you guys, listening it back, transcripting it, and then recording it again, but I'll just do your voices. Welcome back to Would John Rather. It's our second episode in 2020. How is everyone's new year treating them?
It feels very much like 2019, apart from there's a threat of a third world war coming on, so that's a new feeling for me. I'm not sure if that's the 2020 feeling or just what's going on with whatever.
It took literally 2 days for the 2020s to turn to shit, didn't it? 2 days.
They call them the Roaring Twenties, don't they?
Well,
what's more roaring than a missile overhead?
I saw the meme. It was like January 1st. It's a new year. We're going to have a good one this time. January 2nd. The whole of Australia's on fire. January 3rd. World War 3. Like, we know how to kick off a new year, don't we?
New decade.
A new decade.
In my argument, the fire wasn't directly our fault. It's unseasonably hot. So the bits that aren't on fire are like 40 degrees.
Yeah. And it's... On the one hand, I mean, we've only recently spoken about Australia, and I wasn't quite aware that the fires were as bad as they were. But whenever we
koalas are now an endangered species.
Yeah, I'm really sad about the animals, but I can't help but feel a little bit like when the fires have subsided, it might be a safer place to live, because it's definitely sad no matter what animal it is, but there's a lot of them that try and kill you over there.
But at the moment, it's the most dangerous place in the world because it's all on fire.
Yeah. But was it the most dangerous place in the world before the fire?
It was up there.
My worry is with evolution that all of these deadly animals, they're soon going to evolve to be fireproof as well.
Oh. Too soon, mate.
Is it more or less dangerous than the favelas in Brazil?
That's a musical instrument, isn't it? No?
I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even know where you're going with that.
A vuvuzela? What did you say?
I said favela.
What's a favela?
It's not a plastic horn you blow through that also is not a musical instrument.
Oh, okay. I've definitely missed something.
The World Cup in 2000 and whatever?
No, what is John talking about?
A favela. It's a shantytown or slum built on the side of a Brazilian mountain.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Did you play Modern Warfare 2?
Not as much as you.
Well, yes, but the map that was built on a big hillside with the corrugated iron everywhere.
Oh, I don't remember. This episode has started as well as this year.
Oh, we're trying.
We're trying to be educational.
And also, too soon. It's not too soon because it's still happening. And I'm just saying that is how evolution works. You adapt to your surroundings. And from the minimal research I've done on the Australian fires, like, top scientists and researchers have been telling them that this is going to happen for a long time, and they've ignored it. So I feel bad for all the people suffering, but the government have known. And isn't the PM still denying that it's anything to do with global warming and climate change?
I don't know.
Hard pass.
John, have you got questions for us?
Yes, I've got some brand new contemporary questions.
I like the classics.
Well, you come to the wrong show. Because this week they're all contemporary, apart from one which is not.
So
Is it ironic? Is it like irony? Is it a proper throwback?
60% of the questions are contemporary.
Well, at least 33% of them are contemporary.
33% of the time, they're contemporary every time.
There we go. So shall I dive right in?
Yeah.
Would you rather be punched by the Pope or kissed by Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Supreme Leader of Iran?
Isn't he the guy that just got struck?
No,
What's the verb to have a missile land on your face?
No, that was a general who was in charge of strategy for Iranian foreign policy
Was the
Whereas,
Ayatollah the guy that led the service and had a good cry?
yeah, I think he might be.
Then can I choose the other one because he's got a big beard and I reckon it would tickle?
So you'd rather be punched by the Pope?
Yes.
I'd rather kiss an Iranian.
Not just any Iranian, the supreme leader of Iran.
Well, surely that's like best Iranian.
And the Pope's like best Catholic. Is voted for by
Catholics.
other really good Catholics. He's a head Catholic for Catholics by the Catholics.
As we've already said, we might be going into a World War III. Apparently, I think it's being blown a bit out of proportion, but still. And I'd like to be there to just show as one, leader of something to another. I don't know what I'm the leader of, but we can figure that out later. To another leader.
You're the leader of this podcast, whether you like it or not.
I don't want to be the leader. That means I get 66% of the blame. But no, I can just go out and just try and smooth things over, and maybe that's how we'll forget all of our differences.
And lock lips with a very, very bearded old man.
Yeah.
I wish when you'd said, I think it's all been blown out of proportion, I'd said, try telling that to Qasem Soleimani.
Easy for you to say.
Okay, so the two biggest tragedies that have happened this year, and we've made light of both of them, so we're off to a good start.
We're awful people. I forget that sometimes.
I have an ex-girlfriend who is Iranian, so what's kissing two Iranians?
What's better than getting kissed by two Iranians is, the Pope is going to be a pacifist, so who's going to pull the punch. Who's not.
No, the Pope is going to pass you one of his fists.
There you
Yeah,
go. That's very nice. That's good of him.
right into your jaw. You don't get to be the Pope by not knowing how to defend yourself.
No, you do, because the Pope's got a glass bulletproof box in the back of the Popemobile because he can't defend himself.
That's to protect the public, not him.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is. He's trained up in all kinds of martial arts and, well, not jiu-jitsu, obviously, but others.
All right, well, what I'll do is I'll wait for this Pope to die, and I'll elect a new one, and then I'll get punched by him. Because
do you never wonder why we're not allowed to see how the voting process goes? It's Mortal Kombat up in that bitch.
That's what the smoke is.
That's
It's like...
them getting rid of the losers.
Okay, then it's going to be an honour to get punched by the Pope, because all the other people that get punched by the Pope have died.
Which means you're going to die.
No, it doesn't have to punch me to death. We didn't say several punches, just get punched by the Pope.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, how about if we go for a fist bump? I punch his fist, he punches mine.
Like a Rocky 2 freeze frame again.
Because the Pope is obviously like a mega bro these days, because he's like down with the kids.
I once heard an interesting story about Rocky, that apparently when they were filming Rocky 4, I think it was, Dolph Lundgren punched Sylvester Stallone so hard that they thought he'd been hit by a car when he went to hospital.
I wonder where you got that information from.
I don't know. Just a bit of trivia there for you. Well, I pick love, not war.
So you pick loving a person who's going to be the head of a country who's going to war.
Yeah.
A tyrant.
Whereas the Vatican is neutral.
For now. If things get out of hand, that's when the Pope's going to come out and just end it. Like when you're fighting with your siblings and then your dad comes in and it's like, right, stop it now.
Oh, like the Crusades. I want to be the Pope's side then, if that's how it's going to be.
The Pope's not neutral on everything. He's not neutral on religion.
No, this is true.
Yeah, he's got to fight his own corner. He can't just roll over and go, you know what, Buddhism's great. I'm just going to step down and denounce my faith.
He has recently said stuff about respecting each other's religions, though. He might think his is the best, but he acknowledges the rest. Back to speaking in rhyme.
Which is more than can be said for the Ayatollah.
What, he doesn't speak in rhyme?
He doesn't speak in rhyme, and he rarely respects other religions.
This is true.
So, Catholicism is quite anti-gay, but they're sort of coming to terms with it, and they're not like witch hunting people the way they were. They're saying, look, it's not ideal, but you can still be a practicing Christian and be homosexual. It's not, to the letter of law what we're after, but as long as you're a good person and you you believe in Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour, you're okay in the good books. Whereas I don't think the Ayatollah is going to be too happy with a man locking lips with him. I think he's going to be a little bit more hostile.
I assumed it was his idea.
Because you're that much of a looker.
Yeah.
He's going to get you flown in first class.
These are the two options in this. Either it's his idea and he's invited me over for a smooch, or now I'm on a covert operation to sneak in and kiss the leader of a foreign country.
Wait, that does make sense based
exactly
on what you look
it
like
is.
recently.
Ah, yes. That crazy beard thing's been going on.
Wow. Are you being racist?
No, I'm just saying Velcro effect. You and him together, you'll be inseparable.
Maybe that's what I want. I still stand by the fact, given the choice between being punched by anyone or having to kiss anyone, I'd much rather kiss someone. Spread joy.
I think it's a better story if you go into the pub and you go, so what have you been up to this week? I kissed a man. Oh, okay, right, fair enough. I got
Just
punched by
another
the
Tuesday, Matthew.
I got punched by the Pope. People are going, whoa.
No one would believe you.
It's going to make the tabloids. Tabloids are going to love it.
Wait, now I've got this image in my head, because obviously, for it to make it to the tabloids, there'd need to be evidence. So, is the Pope going around happy slapping people?
No, the Pope's filmed all the time doing anything, because he's a world figure.
I don't think he's filmed all the time.
Pretty sure.
I mean,
There's no footage of him winning his trial by combat.
That's because it's in the inner sanctum. No one's allowed to see that. Or it didn't happen. I don't know. We'll never know. And he wasn't the Pope at the time. He was only the Pope after he got carried out on the big chair.
And isn't a big thing that you can be absolved of all your sins?
Yes.
So he could punch you and then just apologise and it's all good.
Confess to himself.
Yeah. Forgive me, for I have sinned.
And then, not being a practicing Christian, I wouldn't have to turn the other cheek, and then me and the Pope could do a bit of sparring. See how that goes.
How much practicing do you have to do before you're an expert or deemed to be a professional?
professional, you just have to be paid. I reckon to be an expert in something, you need...
Is it like 10,000 hours?
Yeah.
That's what TRC said.
Yeah.
If you do 10,000 hours of anything, you'll be pretty damn good at it.
Like living.
Oh, no, that's not a given.
I wouldn't call myself an expert at life.
Have you been breathing and making sure that you're fed and watered?
Most of the time.
Well, good for you.
I do think I have a mild case of sleep apnea.
I thought you were going to say scurvy. That's the other one that I worry about you for.
No. I've started having daily limes.
Is that in your G&Ts?
No, I don't like gin.
No, neither do I.
Although Lauren did come home with a bottle of elderflower gin, which when mixed with Dr. Pepper tastes like fizzer sweets.
What? Gin and Dr. Pepper?
Elderflower gin and Dr. It tastes like fizzer sweets. It's dangerous.
I've never heard of such a random drink combination.
Well, I fancied a drink. There was only
You had to
gin
get rid of
and
it with
Dr.
Dr. Pepper. Oh, when
I'm
needs must.
I'm not going to drink elderflower gin straight. I'm not some sort of monster. And
You're
also,
going to drink it with Dr. Pepper like some sort of cretin. John, call a winner.
Yeah, I'm going to call it for being punched by the Pope, because although I think the Vatican in its history probably does have some questionable policies and things it's covered up and etc. etc. I just think at the moment, although the Pope is going around punching people, they're a bit more woke than Iran.
What? What did you just say? You're lying what you've done with my long-term friend.
do you remember like the first sort of 10, 20 episodes when John would make us like edit out him swearing, and now he's just openly racist and calling out the Pope?
The fact he said woke. John is more down with the kids than I am.
I mean, I don't even really know what it means.
It's like being aware and being awake and like knowing your shit. Don't let things pass you by.
Oh, so like when
Street smart.
when Ed Miliband was trying to eat a sausage roll, he was trying to be woke by showing that like he's one with the people.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And when middle-aged women dab,
Yeah. They're trying to be woke.
I'm trying to be woke, even though they were dabbing way after dabbing was cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just can't endorse Iranian foreign policy right now. Even
So, why did you give that as a question? Because whoever chose it was going to lose.
well, I thought maybe
Someone could sway you back
dissuade
to.
me. Yeah.
Well, I don't know much about this story, but from what you've just
Which
said,
one?
you don't the Iranian thing to do with World War III. My
What do you
basic
know about the Pope?
Well, I know everything because there's apparently he's recorded 24/7 on Pope.tv. But my understanding is Trump issued a missile strike that killed their foreign policy minister, and now you're saying that you don't trust foreign policies with Iran. I'll give you one clue why that is, because they no longer have a foreign policies minister. I hardly think that's fair.
I can't endorse their human rights record internally either. So John wins. Okay, so is this the bit where we do suggestion of the week, or are we doing the I should have known section?
I forgot. I totally forgot about I should have known.
Okay, so
we
we
just
get.
talked over that. I've got to open another chocolate.
Oh, well, now we know it's chocolate. Is it going to be chocolate every week?
It's chocolate until the bowl's empty.
Oh.
Okay, do it again.
Okay.
Oh, is it opening of a chocolate
What type of
wrapper?
chocolate?
I think it's a mingle
Okay.
because you've had two of them, and as everyone knows, you can't just have a single mingle. All the evidence points to it.
I think it might be a mini Twix.
Ooh. Individually wrapped Gillian seashells.
Right. Okay, so on with the
On with the show.
next question.
No, this is a bit where you say, "Oh, I should have known."
Oh, I
But we
should have known.
have.
There's absolutely no way that we were ever going to get that.
You two are making this the worst ever segment. See, I'm having fun because I'm eating chocolate. You two are just making it bad.
You two are just being selfish.
Yeah. See, we try our best for Matt's segment every week and log on to his podcast and answer questions.
That's not my segment.
The whole podcast is Matt's segment. Right, let's go on before we upset each other.
It's too late.
We've already upset the stability in the Middle East and
Australia,
Australia
and America.
and
And the Vatican.
yeah, the city-state inside a city.
Is there anywhere safe for us to go?
No, there's nowhere safe.
I think this podcast. John pretended that this was like my idea, but I think it's been his secret plan all along to just slowly but surely isolate ourselves from every different group of people on the planet until we have no other choice but to move in with the penguins.
Actually, you're right. Because we don't travel as much as him. He's got the most to lose. But he loves penguins the most. And they don't judge.
Which is why he's travelling as much as he can, and it's been escalating, as we know from how infrequently he's available to record, so he can get to all the countries before we are banished to Antarctica. What's the south one?
Yeah,
Right.
Antarctica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that. You were just playing along. You've
No,
seen
I thought I did.
Atypical enough.
I thought it was, but I was like, I'm not sure.
Name the penguins.
No. Question 2.
Chinstrap, Emperor.
Adelaide, Chinstrap, Embra, Gentoo.
That's only the ones in Antarctica, isn't it?
Yes.
Full-time residents.
Okay, so would you rather be gunged on the TV show Get Your Own Back every single week for the rest of your life, or be required to read the news on BBC Radio 3 at 4 a.m. 6 days a week for the rest of your life?
Gunged. Much rather be gunged. There are plenty of people that want to get their own back on me. I'd be on TV every single week. People would get to know me, and then I'd become one of those minor celebrities that ends up on with their own random TV show, like, what was it, Scarlett Moffat, that they built a terrace house in the middle of, like, tribal land in Africa and thought that was going to be a good idea. But she probably got paid quite well for it, so...
Wait, is that an actual TV idea? Or that
No,
it was
it-
actually a show that aired?
It was a show that aired,
No fucking
like,
way.
within the last 6 months. What was it called? I will have to Google because I never watched it. Was it Scarlet?
Liar.
I didn't. I couldn't bring myself to.
I tell you what, it wasn't Scarlett Johansson. She's got way too much self-respect.
Oh, apparently she won I'm a Celebrity 3 years ago. I didn't know that.
I didn't realise she was also a celebrity.
No.
Sorry. Anyway, I'd rather read the news at 4 a.m. because if that's all you've got to do all day, jobs are good. You just have a party all night and have a rager, and then when you're finished, read the news as half-assed as you want, because no one's going to be listening. And then eventually you'll reach infamy, like the newsreader who was reading the sort of 1, 2 in the morning news. What's his name? Something or the Schaffenacker. It's got a crazy name. But he was doing the news and he went, hold on. And he bust out the room and you could hear him like heaving on the way out of the room. Because he was ill and he did it. So if people can vomit on the radio at 2 in the morning, they can do it at 4 in the morning. Party all night. Read news every morning.
All I've been thinking
Sleep
about
every day.
the whole time that you've been talking on that is what was the TV show that took the mickey out of I'm Trevor McDonald? Bong. It was like Bo Selector or 2DTV or something.
I could be on that. That'd be fun. So what? I've got to read like 10 minutes of news and then I get the rest of the day off.
Also, who needs news at 4 a.m? Like, just wait till 9 like the rest of the people.
I just record exactly the same news as what happened at midnight or 5 in the evening. Just repeat it or have it pre-recorded and then have someone play it at 4 in the morning.
I think that's cheating. I mean, it's up to John.
Or I'd live in a different time zone, so 4 in the morning was like 9 in the morning.
Yeah, that's smart.
That could work.
So I'd get up like normal, read the news to you guys who were, still in bed, and then go on about my day as normal.
What time zone would that be? So that would be...
I just live in Japan.
5 hours ahead.
They're ahead of us by quite a lot. I'd live in Australia once it's put out.
Well,
Go hang out with Chris Hemsworth.
Talking of hanging out with people, me and Dave Benson Phillips are going to be best mates.
Yeah.
Not really. I reckon he's going to look at you like some dog poo on the bottom of his shoe. Because you're the enemy of the show. Everyone's going to gang up against you because you ask kids to do homework. And you're worse than Satan. And you're going to get gunged for it.
Yeah, is there like a new reason I get gunged every week? Or it's just...
just you existing.
Just I'm the dummy. They go, this is how the machine works. And then I get gunged so that everyone understands.
Hard to say.
Like, not so much a part of the show, but just a segment of the show every week for no reason. A bit like George Dawes on Shooting Stars.
They would have to come up with an explanation as to why you were always there. Because I'm sure, as much as I'm sure people do have things to get their own back on you for, if you have to do this every week for the rest of your life, it's gonna become pretty thin, like the reasons that they're getting their own back on you. So I think after a while you probably would just have to become like the example, the test dummy.
Yeah, because I'm thinking much like the questions in this show. We're up to episode 90 and they're starting to get pretty thin. So we do 3 questions a week, so we would last a year. Well, no, sorry, 3 years. No, wait, I'm getting confused between days and weeks. However many time we would eventually last, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm just thinking it'll open up. I could then get, like, my foot would be in the door for all of the amazing kids TV shows like Funhouse and Blue Peter. Is Blue Peter still going?
Blue Peter's too wholesome. They wouldn't have you.
They could have me living in the garden instead of the tortoise.
Then you'd starve to death because all they do is throw salad at you.
I could be the new Mr. Blobby because I'd be an expert. Because after a while, I would have 10,000 hours of getting gunged, and they could bring back Noel's house party. I could be the world's leading expert on gunge.
You don't become the world's leading expert on guns just by getting gunged. You need to work on gunge. You need to make gunge your life.
Yeah, but I would do.
You said you weren't even an expert with 10,000 hours of being alive.
Yeah, because I haven't had anything to drive me, but now I've got gunge. Like the consistency, the colour, how it's made, if it's viscous.
So after you get gunged, do you just like rate the mixture out of 10?
Yeah, take samples.
I'd much rather read the news. It sounds like less stress. Someone else prepares it for you. You read it off a sheet into a microphone. Pretty much what I'm doing now, but someone tells you what to do so you don't make an arse of yourself, or sound like a massive racist, and then your job's done.
Who was that a dig at?
Any of us at any given moment.
More exposure. I need to get
Gunge.
Gunge. And also, it's the timing of it. Like, it's not 6 days a week. It's once a week. It would
You've
just
got
be...
to get up at some point. You might as well get up, read some news, go back to bed. That's your only job.
Yeah, but 6 days a week. I've got to get up, drive to some location, get gunged, and then that's me done for the week. Job sorted.
But if you do it at 4 in the morning, it's never going to interrupt and never interfere with anything. Oh, do you want to come to the pub? Oh, sorry guys, I can't this afternoon. I need to go and get gunged.
Yeah, but that's once a week. You can't go to the pub ever because, no, I've got to go to bed. Why? Because I've got to be up at 4 to read the news.
No, all-nighters. Just do all-nighters as much as you want, as much as you can.
Well, there we go then.
Make the most of it.
So you can't go to the pub in the afternoon because that's when you'll be
Go to the pub whenever I
sleeping.
want. Need to go to the pub whenever I want, apart from 4 in the morning.
I just disagree.
I could make... Well, that's your job.
Less is more. Less
No.
is more.
More is more, as you say, every time.
You would rather read... So you're saying it's 10 minutes of reading the news. 10 minutes of reading the news, that's an hour a week that you have to do at 4 a.m. I just have to get gunged once a week, and that's going to take 2 minutes. Sit in the chair,
And it's going
pull
to take
the
how many
lever.
hours to clean the gunge out of every orifice you've got?
I won't.
You'd have to be like the seal. You have to shave like from the neck down.
Gunge is clean.
Is it?
Is it?
I'll make sure that in my contract it says it's clean gunge.
Oh, I'm a prima donna. I want sterile gunge every week. No, they're not going to spring that for you. You're going to have to go in the same recycled gunge.
Or
Yeah.
the same gunge every week until it starts
Have you
like
not- can you not
bubbling and
remember it
fizzing.
Back in the day, at the beginning of the week, or like the beginning of the episode, it was like bright green, and then it was bright green with a bit of red in it. And then by the end of the show, like the end of the sort of series, it was this horrible, weird purple stuff with like streaks of other colours in it, where they reused it and then topped it up with a different colour. After a period of time, it's going to be like getting tar poured over you.
Once again, I'll just make sure that I go on the Monday, and that's where I get gunge once a week.
I think as this TV show appearance has been enforced upon you by a podcast, I don't know how.
Would I get to throw the lever
I don't know how much.
if the podcast is enforcing on him?
No, because you'll be in bed. You've got to be
Right.
up. You've got to be up at 4 a.m.
Go back to bed after doing my news stint.
I just don't know how much strength you're going to have to negotiate this contract. I think it's going to be dirty gunge.
Oh,
Wait, so now you're saying that I'm a slave? I don't have basic human rights.
No, you don't.
Oh, John's allowed to move to another country and record from home, but I'm not even allowed to negotiate my terms.
Well, yeah, because one.
yeah, John, you tell him how it is.
Because one, you have to go to the TV show. It has to be on their terms because you have to be seen on TV. And one, you just have to record. You can record from anywhere. Yeah, so radio wins.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to be dirty.
It's not even a TV show anymore. We'd have to reboot it. So surely I could be part of the discussions. I'm going to be involved every single week.
Benson Phillips is not open to new ideas.
God damn it, Dave! I thought we were friends.
Okay, so since we've resolved that one, third question: would you rather your head was made of sponge or be a teenage witch?
Be a teenage witch.
My head was made of sponge.
And because I'm kind, I'll learn the spell to turn your head back into normal.
Oh, thank you, but you'd be against my wishes because having a head made of sponge is what I've wanted all of my life.
Exactly. So now I'm a witch, and you don't get what you want. I win.
Oh.
That's very selfish.
What sort of sponge? Like a kitchen or bathroom sponge, or like a natural sponge?
Victoria.
I don't mind as long as it's square.
As long as it's square. Does it have a scourer on one side?
What shape are my pants?
Also square. This
reckon-
question was brought to you by Nickelodeon.
I can't see
I'm
any.
going to put money on more episodes of SpongeBob than there are Sabrina.
I literally just bought.
I'd be an eternal living meme.
I literally just bought the entire box set of Sabrina because Lauren decided she wanted to watch it randomly. So I already had season 1 on DVD, but I bought the entire box set, so...
Blimey. Okay, well, should we make this simple then?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, there was 7 seasons, all with over 20 episodes. How many episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants? 262 versus, what's 7 times 22? 154. There are more episodes of SpongeBob, this is true. But we're not talking about watching it, we're talking about living it.
I'd have my own house. Do you know
Under
where I
the
live?
sea.
In a pineapple under the sea. How many times have you heard Corey Taylor sing the Sabrina the Teenage Witch intro?
I've also not heard him sing the SpongeBob SquarePants intro.
You've not heard Corey Taylor sing SpongeBob?
No, I was never a SpongeBob fan.
That'll be one thing you go on YouTube later for.
If there is
I'm in my 30s, and if I hear, oh, I like the hairs on the back of my neck go up because I'm just ready to scream at the TV.
I never watched SpongeBob. Honestly, don't think I've ever seen an episode. And genuinely, if someone tells me that they did watch SpongeBob, I just make the assumption that SpongeBob in my head is a gateway to smoking marijuana. Every single
you don't
person.
need to smoke marijuana. SpongeBob is tripping balls every day.
But it seems like the gateway drug. Everyone that I've ever known that has ever watched SpongeBob then went on to be a pot taker.
And drugs are bad.
They are. So therefore SpongeBob is bad.
Well, I don't follow Sabrina the Teenage Witch too closely because I believe witchcraft is the gateway to Satan. Very much like Metallica and Dungeons and Dragons, according to middle-aged white mums.
Exactly, and I like Metallica and Dungeons and Dragons.
John, do you like Dungeons and Dragons?
Um,
No, it's for fucking nerds.
I do like Metallica though.
Yes,
So
but Metallica
we're kind of-
proved they're not Satanists.
We're just on neutral ground now. Don't like one of them, like the other.
Yeah. But do you like drugs, John?
Paracetamol, ibuprofen.
Do you like illegal
Alcohol.
drugs, John?
John, do you like cats? A big part of Sabrina was a talking cat.
If I went to the supermarket and bought 3 boxes of paracetamol, would that be an illegal?
You can only buy 2.
But if I did, say I bought 2 and stole 1, would that then be an illegal drug?
Yes, because you'd have not paid for it.
Okay.
You stolen goods.
I'm just checking.
Not allowed stolen goods.
No, you're not. Also,
So-
how can SpongeBob afford his own house when he's a line cook? He has to rent, surely.
I reckon you got left it. I reckon you inherited the house.
Could you imagine you get your inheritance and it's a pineapple?
Under the sea.
Yeah, so it's not you can't even get to it.
I also reckon it's probably not in the best of neighbourhoods.
Yeah, real estate isn't all that in the Marinara Trench.
No, because let's face it, living next to Squidward is pretty shit. And we all know Patrick is on some sort of assisted living program. And have you ever seen who's on his right? No. Must be even worse. You don't see the 2 houses on his left.
I mean, we're talking basically about SpongeBob SquarePants, but the actual question was that you would just have a sponge head.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Whereas-
Yeah, I'd be cool with that.
I get to be a teenage witch. So you'd have a sponge head. You wouldn't live at the bottom of the sea. You wouldn't be friends with a squirrel that's in a astronaut suit.
Spacesuit. Yeah.
But I would have
Says
access
who?
to magic.
Yeah, but you'd be a teenage witch, which means you'd be a pretty shit witch, and then you get into all sorts of misadventures.
I would, but there'd still be adventures, and then eventually I'd grow up to be an adult witch.
No, teenage witch forever, that's the question. If I'm not allowed to be SpongeBob, you need to be a teenager forever.
Okay, that's fine.
I still don't know where I'm going with this. I still think I feel like I'm losing heavily.
So now I'm immortal as well as being a witch.
Well, witches in that series pretty much are immortal.
No, they just live for a long time. And I'd know Penn and Teller,
Okay.
because they're like the governor of whatever the... It's been a long time since I've actually watched an episode of Sabrina. What's the witchy world where you go through the closet, the airing cupboard?
Narnia.
No, that's the back of a wardrobe.
Oh,
Diagon
sorry.
Alley?
No,
Hogwarts.
that's in London. No, that's in Scotland.
Get your shit straight, mate. Come on.
Aladdin's Cave?
No, that's the Cave of Wonders.
Lee Scoresby.
No, he's played by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Get sidetracked by that, please.
No.
Oh,
I'd learn a spell to be as an amazing lyricist as Lin-Manuel Miranda if I was a teenage witch.
Okay, Matt wins.
oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Come on, John.
What?
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
I don't know the words.
Come on, John.
Matt already won.
I won.
God damn you.
Yeah, take that, sponge face.
And
Sponges can't talk.
No.
no, they probably can't. Yeah, basically what it came down to was I wanted a nostalgic trip down memory lane, but ultimately having a sponge for a head would be awful. People would pick you up and try and clean their showers. And
I mean, I just put it this way. When I'm cleaning my shower and I've got a choice of cleaning implements, I don't tend to pick up the one that's got a human body attached to it.
you don't?
No.
Oh. So you're not even going to use it for cleaning your shower?
No. The only
So
way
you're
that
not
I'd be able to do that is by, like, persuading John to just rub his face all over my shower,
Yeah.
which I don't think he'd want to do.
Yeah, I mean, cleaning your shower is going to become an awkward social situation.
We're all just down at the pub at 9 a.m. because John needs to go to bed soon. And just like us all just sat there just going, oh, when I get home, I've really got to clean that shower. And then awkward eye contact with John, just waiting for him to just solemnly nod because he knows that we're hinting that he needs to come and do it. I could use magic. I'm not going to.
No. Because if there's one thing that can't be beaten by magic, it's lime scale.
Yeah.
Only hard graft.
I think John's gone silent because he genuinely is trying to, embody having a sponge face. On the plus side, sleeping you'd always be comfy.
Yeah. But we're past that now.
Well, I think he's not going to talk ever again, so we should probably call it a day and say these two have been John, and I've not been.
I still think of myself as like a child, and that there's like grown-ups.
Yeah.
Like if you watch, like, for example, during the Football World Cup this summer, you'd see like the footballers, and I always think, oh, they're like big grown-up men, and then
they're all younger than you.
Yeah, you look it up, and they're like, oh, that kid's 19 or 21, and you go, oh.
And they've all got better beards than me. Very sad. Very, very sad.
I always get it whenever I see like a 13-year-old or whatever, like riding down the street on their bike but not holding the handlebars. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then I remember, I can do that. Actually, on the bike, I can't remember the last time I went on a bike, so I'm assuming it's